We finally made it.
The first phase of our wonderful sister trip has gone by the wayside. And
I did not want to leave that beautiful country house. We were saying, well, what would they do if we just didn't leave?
They'd physically have to lift us and carry us
the taxi driver even said, I said, you can put my bag in there, but I'm not leaving. And he looked at me. I said, I really don't want to leave. He says, well, the policia,
this is shaky because this is
the policeman will come or something. I said, I don't care. Let the policeman come, take me away. So we had a wonderful time. We got pampered with some delicious food and just relaxation.
A lot of free time just to visit and sit and knit. We went on one little outing.
The one night we stayed up until 3 a.m.
3:30.
Okay, so Debbie and I were up. We weren't tired at all. Tracy left to go upstairs. An hour later, she came back down. So, and I'm sorry if I keep looking.
Tracy was with us the whole time. It was
she came back down. Well, then we heard somebody like rummage around, like kind of in the kitchen. We're like, who's that? It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. Here comes Danny walking around with her pajamas on. She's like, hello. And I said, come join us. We were up till 3:30 that one night. And the reason I keep
totally
looking
worth
out,
it.
right in front of us, right in front of me and Debbie, we're sitting in our Airbnb here at Edinburgh, and anybody else that lives here would say this is not a nice view. But all these old buildings,
it's beautiful.
A courtyard. We can't see the castle from here, and they said it's probably about a 40-minute walk, and it is cold here.
No, 40-minute walk to the Corn Exchange. The castle is right around the corner up here, close, pretty close.
We can't see it right now.
But there's kind of a modernish looking building over here where the grocery store is literally across the street. The pub.
Easy access to
not the pub. The bar where we're going to meet to pick up our bracelets for entrance into the Corn Exchange tomorrow.
Next to the grocery store.
Next to the grocery store across the street. And there's, vintage buildings around this little courtyard here where we're facing. Pretty. It's beautiful. It's wonderful.
And the man that owns this flat is a doctor, and his brother is a professional golf player. And so
he just won the Irish Open just recently. There's T-shirts with signatures on them and stuff.
Yeah, framed.
It doesn't impress us, but still, it's kind of a neat thing.
And let me show them what she left for us, just in case we need some. Hold on a minute. Whiskey.
Scottish whiskey, I guess.
So, we have everything we need now.
She left some chocolates, and she's very nice.
Very sweet. So we realized when we did our live YouTube video in the country house, which was beautiful. We were on the 3rd floor.
We were on the very tippy top.
So we didn't have very good signal. Did we check that before we started? No. So when we watched it back, the first third of it actually was cut off for some reason, or it went wonky and then it came back. So we wanted to show what we actually bought at Loop in London, because that was one of the places we went, and we showed it, but it didn't get
recorded. Mm-hmm.
So we're just going to let you know sort of a little bit of that and some of the things we've already picked up. We had a little marketplace at the Country House Retreat, and my bag is getting kind of heavy.
I think
and we haven't even gone to the festival yet.
You're going to have to buy another bag that you check. It can be a small carry-on type size.
Filled with fiber. I must. Okay, so let's show the stuff we bought at Loop.
Okay.
And this is with the premise of, like we told you before, we're working on the Mystery Knit Along for Mother's Day. Danny was brilliant. We started talking about, what are we going to name it? What should we do? And she says, well, it's such a sweet story about how you guys got here. Why don't you just name it? Should I say it?
Yeah, why not?
I think we're going to call it A Mother's Gift, Mystery Knit Along. That was perfect. I said, Danny, you're brilliant. We must just bring you home with us. She said, okay.
Yeah.
So we bought, it's basically going to be a 2-color type of accessory for the neck, a neck thingy. So we bought, and I heard it's called Ching, not King.
No, it's King.
Somebody said Ching. I think Tracy said Ching. No, maybe not.
I don't know.
Okay, so this is what Debbie and I bought.
These
are singles.
King, King Fiber. It's a little bit hard to see.
The name of mine is Oyster.
And mine is called Salt. I originally picked this one, and then she stole it from me, so I had to pick a different one. So really pretty. Mine is mostly, it's a little bit blown out, but it's mostly a natural color, and then it has these beautiful bright pops of, and some dark gray, and
we paired it up. It's funny how we paired these up. Same dyer here.
here,
and same
dyer
dyer
here.
Uncommon thread.
I love this yarn. I didn't use a single, but I did use one of her
Ripe plum is mine.
2-ply or 4-ply yarns, and mine is called Tourbillon. Mine looks like, mine looks like dark gray, but I don't know if you can see that. It's got
you
lots
can see
of
it really
color
well.
in it.
Debbie, I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, now you
Well,
know.
let me see. I think doesn't that look great?
Amy, get that back to me. Oh, wait, let me see that one. That one would work just as well. Oh, no, I think it's better this way. So this is a beautiful one that has red and blue and teal and gold.
I didn't even notice that.
In it. Yeah, it's really pretty. And then this has a lot of the dark charcoal in it too. And look, this is like neon orange and purple.
So be thinking about your 2 fingering weight.
It doesn't have to be singles. It could be just fingering weight, anything. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun. Okay, so that was that.
And we started the design for this on the train from London to Penrith on Mother's Day, UK Mother's Day.
Right.
So it's perfectly fitting that we have another Mother's Day kind of inspired and themed Mystery Knit Along.
And each night we sat down for dinner at the Country House Retreat, we had a little gift on our plate. The beautiful dining room with those, did you see some of the pictures with the lit candelabras with real candles with real fire, this long table?
This was on our
That was the second night. That was
yeah, you're right. This was
it's okay,
are you
show
sure
them that
this is
since you
second
have
night?
it.
I guess it was. The second night we got a beautiful pin from Colorado from Bowen.
So pretty. It was really fun. And the first night we had at our place
Bowen, right?
mats.
Did I think say that right?
Yeah,
I think that was right.
We had. Did we show this?
No, I don't think we did. Little sock sacks from Mrs. Brown's bags. Thank you, Jody.
Thank you, Jody.
And then they had minis that were sitting with them. It's not the yarn knit into the. No, it's not the same yarn. This is from Sugar Tots.
Right.
And I'm not sure what the yarn is on each of the bags.
But they were kind of paired up with the bag
that looked similar. Isn't it interesting how this is very like...
You sat down at that
both.
one.
I did.
Yeah, we sat down at the place we wanted. Isn't that pretty? Thank you, Jody.
Thank you, Jody.
Thank you, Tracy, for bringing it.
Yes, and thank you, Sugar Tots, for sending
Yes, that was very sweet.
The minis.
So our little marketplace, everybody, not everybody, but we had the option to bring some things.
Maybe a dozen?
A lot of us were makers, so Helen said, well, if you want to bring some things, that's fine. And so I brought some packs of minis and met some new makers, really wonderful makers. Meta has a new shop that's not up yet, right? Called Gather. I don't think
her yarn.
Up.
Her yarn is going to be called
The shop is up,
Gather.
but there's nothing in it yet, and it's naturally dyed yarn.
Oh my gosh, you guys! We both bought the same base. There's my phone. Someone's
which
texting
is
me.
alpaca, silk, and cashmere. This is called Read on Gray. Read on
Gray. So she tells you which base. She has like a natural base, and then she has a gray base. It's like a light gray is the base color of the yarn. This is also indigo on gray.
This was and it's a little darker than what it's showing on.
Yeah, it's a little bit blown out. I don't know if it shows
the ivy that grows around her house, she pulled and dyed this. You talk about a cloud and some scrumptious yarn.
Can you tell why?
Alpaca. Green. What is that? I always pick green.
So
green or purple.
Soft.
Very, very nice. Meta, it's beautiful. So keep your eye out for Gather. She says she has a shop, but there's nothing in it. I said, well, what's the point of having a shop? But she's brandy new.
She's going to have some
And another
success.
brandy new person who we just absolutely fell in love with. We've met so many incredible people there. But dear Emma.
She's such a sweetheart.
Emma
and Julie and everybody.
Oh gosh. Okay, so Emma has does not have an Etsy store.
She's a full-time working mother of 3 children with a crazy full-time job.
She's
just like us.
Yeah.
Yes, basically just like us.
She says, well, I'm just learning how to dye. I'm just throwing some things and just... So she brought 10 skeins, maybe.
12, I think she bought 12 and had just a few left.
And none of them were named, and I gave her hell for that, so she had to name the ones when she gave me. So I picked this skein. Isn't that gorgeous?
Beautiful.
It's a sock weight yarn. The tree of Penrith, was it Penrith? Is called the Courageous Tree. Penrith is called the Courageous Tree. So she named this Courageous
Cumbria. I think it's the tree of Cumbria.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Courageous Tree. And I had to pair it up with this beauty. She was gonna name it.
She put it on the table. She says, "The green grass of Melmerby."
And I said, "It sounds like a cemetery." So she changed it to Melmerby.
I don't know. I didn't hear that
Melmerby Moss.
Oh,
Melmerby
yes.
is the name of the beautiful country house retreat that we stayed in.
It's
these little villages. They, instead of having a number like your address, 20 State Street, they have the name of their house
on the street,
which is very, very neat. And we were walking back from the bakery. Okay, so we said we were going to walk to town, which is basically down the street, not even to the end of the street.
It's probably
There's
not
a little
even
bakery.
100 meters.
But after we went to the bakery and had some tea and talked and knit a little bit, we were coming back, and there were these little, like 6 or 7 little sheep.
Yeah.
And just across the road. Just eating the grass like sheep do. And we said, is this like common? I mean, in where I live, every now and then you come around the curve and there's a cow in the street. Mm-hmm. You hope to God you stop because it would wreck your car.
Well, apparently the farmers there own huge plots of land, and so they only have fences around the limits of what they own. She said, so everything is free range in between there. Yeah. And people own houses, and
she says, well, the farmer will be by on his 4-wheeler, and they'll have a sheepdog, and they'll kind of gather them up.
Get them back close to the house.
As I was walking backwards on this little street, and the sun had actually come out, Deb...
Ting Hickman,
she says, you know, we've been walking and taking pictures of these sheep because we walked over on the grass, and she says, don't step in any sheep poop. I was just like, no, everybody careful. Don't step in any sheep poop. As I'm walking backwards, I step smack in the middle of a big pile of sheep poop. So I got it all in my shoe, and I went, okay, don't do what I did.
Deb was just like, she was on the floor. I
thought she was going to pee her pants. I said, I didn't do that on purpose. I promise you. Another thing I got, what else did you get? Are those the only couple things you got?
I got this.
Okay. Oh, yes.
Let me show you Emma's yarn that I purchased.
So Emma is EJW 1969 on Instagram. You must follow her. So her shop, the yarn is called Seren.
Seren.
S-E-R-E-N. But the shop is not open just yet.
So if you guys remember what I was going to do my Cyril socks,
and it's a little blown. The base is a little bit more of a light mint green with these pops. Oh my god!
And I was going to do my Cyril socks in the Baronvilla yarn until I saw this, and I said, this is Cyril, and the other is going to be Rita. And I already started knitting up my Cyril socks. And look here, I'll turn it around.
This is Danny's pattern, second pattern that's out, and the third one's coming out tomorrow.
Thursday, yeah, tomorrow.
So
I'm going to do the sock in Cyril and the heel in the Rita color, and then the Rita socks will have Cyril color heels and toes. I'm doing the cuff the same, but the heels and toes are going to be the opposite, so they will be a rightly married couple.
So
with matching
where
socks.
is the other? You don't have it out.
No, it's in the other room. They've seen it before. It's the same that I did my hat and my mittens with. It's that Circumstance Baronvilla. And it's got the same kind of goldy green in it. It's mostly pink.
Pretty.
And it's got little flecks of gray. And they couldn't be a better match. They couldn't be a better match color-wise.
Of course not.
So isn't that pretty?
I love it.
This side's pooling a little bit.
Emma is so
she is
talented.
So...
She was telling me about her. She was telling me about her kids. She's
red.
got some teenagers or upper teenagers. And she says, I had wet yarn all around the house. And one of her kids said, Mom, it stinks. Nobody's going to buy this. Who wants to buy this? It smells like dog or something. So she messaged him and she says, well, they bought almost all of it. And they said, what? They bought almost all of it? The stuff that smelled so bad?
It doesn't smell bad anymore.
It smells
like sheep.
In Okay, where were we when Julie came running up to us? Suffolk Socks.
We were in the
London train
Euston
station,
Mhm.
getting ready to go up to Penrith, and she hugged us, and she had on the most beautiful sweater, which she actually modified from something else. I said
she's a mashup sweater maker.
Yeah, I
she
said,
found a
Julie,
recipe that she likes the baseline, and then she adds little things and changes
so
little things about it.
I said, Julie, what is that colorway? Is that one of your colorways? She said, yes, it's Mama J. I said, I know we're supposed to wait until the marketplace, but I need to get some of that. She says, oh, I brought some. I said,
and you know who it was supposed to be for?
It was supposed to be for Emma.
Emma was supposed to buy that yarn, and it was for Emma. And Emma, the sweetheart soul that she is, let
Emma
this one take it.
Emma wanted one skein. I happen to want a sweater's quantity. Now, who buys yarn, you guys?
And
2
Emma,
days before Edinburgh Yarn
I
Festival.
think Emma can probably get it her hands on
She
pretty
can.
easy. That was very
So
sweet.
this is Mama J. Is this not my color?
Take the band off
Yeah,
so
I
you
need
can see it
to.
better.
And she's the yarn tart. You guys know that. Suffolk Socks.
Julie.
Julie, I'm going to take her home too.
I love her. She's
Look
got
at
such
that.
spunk.
I'm thinking about knitting Hody
This
Locatelli.
is coming through as like rusty brown, but it's actually a
Like
mauve,
and
pinky
it's
mauve.
a little bit of a
yes, it is.
terracotta.
A little bit of a
Yeah.
terracotta.
This is pretty good. It's mostly this light blue and this beautiful lavender. So I have 4 skeins. I'm thinking about doing the Henley tea.
Oh, you're going to use that for that?
Hohies.
Hohies, Henley.
That'd be beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So
Is that all we got to show?
my suitcase is not light.
Check it out, guys.
But guess what? You guys are going to be so glad. This Airbnb has a washer and dryer. So no dirty inside out commando wearing stuff.
Book
I
it.
can actually wash my undies. This is the Mind Your Gap socks.
So I got this one done, started the heel, and look, I got this one all the way done
Debbie,
and
I didn't
starting
see
the
that.
toe. Yep, I was able to finish it with, I gave you
I
the
thought you were
leftovers.
going to do half the toe in gray just because the
No,
gap.
right here is where the gap happened, right there. So I'm going to embroider a little something right here
It
as
says
a,
Mind the Gap.
or I don't know,
Gap.
exclamation points or a dash
That's
line.
gonna be cute.
Dash line with an exclamation point or something. And it's going to be, like, where is it? It's going to be,
On the front.
yeah, just above the heel, I think.
But you're going to do it on that one side.
Just on this one side.
Because that's
yeah.
a sock.
So I'm working on the toe on that one to get that one
And she had a
finished.
couple little tiny nuggets. Guess what? She gave them to me. So I'm going to put them in heels
different sock.
at different socks.
Okay, I've got all kinds of strings there. Oh, well.
Okay, so at the retreat they have a, what would you call that?
That's the bag we got at Loop. It's
They
just
have
for
a
free.
speaker /
Where?
workshop at the
Oh,
Country House
yes.
retreat.
Yes.
And they had a woman named,
Melanie something.
she is
We posted about it.
she's
a fiber
prolific
artist.
fiber artist, but embroiderer. And so we did a little embroidery workshop.
And it's not just embroidery that she does. She
Oh, she-
rescues old quilts and
Puts
cuts
them
them up
together
and
and puts them, makes some
makes
shirts,
art pieces
skirts,
out of them, and
things,
yeah,
little
really
kids' jackets.
lots of stories. Amy took a bunch of pictures for Mom, so she'll probably give some to me. We'll pop it in a
So
real
she was
podcast.
showing us all of these little stitches to make flowers, and just like in my
designs
way,
too, not
Yeah.
just flowers, but designs.
I don't ever listen to anybody. Like I paid for a painting class, oil painting class years ago, and I really took it to learn the medium of how to use oil paint. And everybody painted this ugly picture of this deer with the oval painting thing.
When did you do that? I don't
this is
remember
back when I
that.
lived in Albany. So I painted a
Really?
winter scene with the deer peeking out around a tree and the moon and the trees and all the shadows. And
Surprise,
Of course, I
surprise.
sat in the back and hopefully was hoping not to be noticed. And the teacher said, "Oh, you're doing your own thing." Like, yeah, because your picture's ugly. This lady's stuff was not ugly, mind
No.
you. So
But
I
she,
just
she's a nonconformist. She just can't.
I can't follow the
rules.
directions.
Not that there weren't any rules, actually.
Right.
She gave 3 different techniques that you could pick from for people that had never done it before.
Never
she
held
gave them some
needle
kind
and
of
thread, really.
basis for you could do this kind of like a satin stitch that is like a fill stitch, or you could do this kind of stitch, it's like an outline stitch, or you could do this other thing. And so she just kind of, and then she had a handout with different types of stitches that
was really nice.
Traditional embroidery stitches that you could pick from. Because when you're sitting in front of a blank piece of old blanket, which is what we did this on, it's a very white canvas that you go, where do I start? What do I do? Yeah. And some people just like practice the stitches, the different techniques, and didn't really create anything specific, but just used it as more of a technique opportunity. And others did whatever the heck they wanted. And then I picked a couple of the traditional stitches that I already knew, and then I learned a new stitch and I added that into my little tiny little thing. So
this is what I did. I made a little barn and some hills and
some
a
tree.
And some little sheep. You see the little sheep? I did the little ones in the background first, and then I did the bigger ones. And when I was working on the little ones, Debbie said, "What are those buttons?" I said, "No, they're
What are those dots?"
They're sheep. Can't you see their eyes and their face? They're basically one little French knot that I added a couple little feet. You see the little feet on them? But you can tell these are sheep a little close. Well, that one you can really tell is a sheep.
Yeah.
So we kind of ran out of time. I don't know, Debbie. We worked on it for
a couple hours.
And
2 hours, maybe 2 or 3 hours.
So that's what I did. It was a lot of fun.
And this was mine. Mine was more of like a traditional style.
Sort of like her
embroidery.
jeans.
Yeah, like my jeans. This is the daisy stitch with a little, what do you call that in the middle? A French knot.
Show me this one. This is what you learned.
This was called the bouillon stitch. And it's, you come up here and then you back stitch. And then on the tip of the needle, you wrap the yarn, wrap, and then you pull the needle through, and then you stitch back down here, and it pulls all those loops back on themselves and creates that cool little, and it kind of stands up.
Like a little worm.
Like a worm, yeah, like a little.
But that's a purple color. I know it looks gray, but it's a purple color.
It's dark purple.
Like a lavender flower.
Yeah.
Isn't that pretty?
And then these were just like...
She was very proud of you. You followed directions.
I was that model student, like usual.
Model. Perfect model.
So what I
student.
decided, we were going to maybe, be able to work on these again later. I decided I'm not going to add anything more. This is what was accomplished at the country house. I'll probably cut it out and put it in a little frame or a little hoop or something and then hang it in my office.
It's Mandy Patullo. Textile Collage is what her book. Oh, it's blowing out.
Hold it angled a little bit. Yeah.
I wanted to show a couple pictures.
You can't see them.
Hold on a minute. One of the really cool ones, like this is on a
burlap sack.
A burlap sack. Darn it. Okay, can you see
maybe
that?
if you turn the brightness down, could you maybe try that? I don't know. You should just post a couple on Instagram. Go see her on Instagram. She has her own Instagram page. You can see if you're really interested in that.
Yeah. I think it's there.
There you go. That's the less bright.
It's blowing out because of the windows across. Hold on a minute. Let's do this. I really want to show these pictures.
I think it's your phone more than anything.
And I wanted to show this little book. Oh my gosh, so cute. Hold on a minute. It was this little leather book. Darn it. Can you see? Oh, that's better. This little leather book that she just had little...
Those are scrapped pieces of little hexagons, tiny little hexagons that were about that big.
Yeah.
They were about the size of a quarter, and a little bit bigger.
And Danny's mom has done this little fabric pages. You guys, it was incredible.
Really cool. It was really cool. So that's not going to show up. That's a white screen.
You see that one? Pretty.
You can go if you're really interested in that. Go to her page and look at her.
So anyway, we've had a wonderful time. So what we're going to do today is...
We're going to go meet up with Emma because she's got our tickets printed for EYF.
Thank you, Emma. And
we're going to go to the bar.
We learned the difference between a bar and a pub.
Yes, Elizabeth explained it to us very well.
Okay, a pub is more family oriented. They may more likely have food. They close at a reasonable hour, maybe 10 or 11 o'clock.
And they're usually open earlier in the day.
And bars are just what they are. A bar.
But you can get food at a bar.
Yeah.
I think. So
we're going to be definitely doing
And it's so amazing when Elizabeth said this place called Accra, you need to go. There's a night there tonight, and that's where you want to go pick up your wristband. And when I said, okay, well, where is it? And then I said, well, this is where our Airbnb is. And she says,
It's right across the street. Debbie
like,
says,
yes,
we can stumble home
score
tonight. So we'll probably go down and get a couple little groceries and snacks. And
we should at least show them the room. Let me pick up and show you the room. So behind us is the kitchen.
You want to turn it around? You want me to turn it around?
Yeah, turn it around.
How do you do that?
I don't know. Maybe you can't. Okay, that's okay. We'll just go like this. This is the living room. Pretty little couch. And then we're sitting in front of the table, which is right there, which is getting blown out. You can see our little porch right there, and that's the grocery store building back there. And then back behind here is our kitchen. I'm going to back up. I won't come in our little kitchen on the other side of the bar. See that? A sink and stove.
It's very beautiful.
It is really pretty. So you look back around the room, and there's the couch, and there's the dining table, and the TV right there. So it's nice. And then there's 2 bedrooms in the back and 2 bathrooms. And you want me to go? Let's just go back and sit down and say goodbye. That's it. Sorry, Mom. I know it's wobbly. So close your eyes till we sit down, and we'll be seasick.
I'm sure we'll do another video. We've decided what we're going to be doing.
We made our plans.
Here.
Yes.
We're going to be taking the beautiful coastal train down to Durham.
The northeast coast.
We're going to spend one night in Durham, and then the next day we're going to take the train not far down into York, and we're going to spend 2 nights in York, and then the next day we travel down to King's Crossing. King's Cross. I have to get some pictures of platform 9 3/4.
Yeah, hopefully we can find it. I'm sure we will.
I'm sure we will.
And then it's just a little train hop over to where we're getting a hotel, which is
the night before we fly back
on the line that takes us out to the airport. Paddington. Mm-hmm.
So we're excited about that 3rd leg of our trip. We're kind of on our 2nd leg.
The 3rd leg is going to be another chance for us to kind of just decompress, knit, go out and see some things if we feel like it, go on a couple walking tours.
Hopefully we have pretty weather. And honestly, it has not rained 1 drop on our heads since when we've been outside. It rained one of the days.
Jinx us now. It's going to rain the whole time.
It's not going to rain. It's going to snow.
It's really cold. It is kind of cold.
And windy.
Would you say it's in the 40s? Low 40s?
I'd say it's lower than that. Let me see what you think so? Say.
I'm glad I have my hat and mittens. Let me tell you that.
Debbie asked me this morning before we left, do you need the headband? No, I'm good. Oh my gosh, I needed the headband.
If it wasn't as windy today, they said it was going to be windy. 50 degrees?
No, there's no way it's 50 degrees right now.
That's what it says at the airport.
Feels like 50.
I don't think it's 50 degrees.
There's no way. Oh, it's going to rain tomorrow and Friday, maybe.
That's okay, but look, the rest is partly sunny. All the rest of the time we're here.
It's going to be wonderful.
We don't care if it rains because we're going to be in the corn exchange. We're going to be inside.
Yeah.
The whole day. Either that or a bus.
So we're going to sit down and think about the couple patterns of sweater quantities we want to buy for. We're going to do that.
Do our research for our buying tomorrow.
Yes.
We have early entrance into the marketplace because we bought the tickets. No, a whole day. Thursday's only open to people that bought advance tickets.
Oh.
It's not open. People that come and buy tickets when they come can't go until Friday and Saturday.
Oh.
It's still going to be really crowded, but that's okay. We're ahead of the non-planners.
So we have VIP tickets, basically?
Basically. So we have to plan out what we're going to buy. We have a couple sweaters in mind, for sure. And, yeah.
So that's it. We're going to just post a video with no other fluff, which is fine.
It seems like we have a good signal here, so hopefully it'll go quick. Then we're going to go and meet up with our friends again. And tomorrow, oh yeah, there's your sock that you've been knitting on. That's your train sock.
Just today. This is the quarry fiber off with their heads.
That's pretty. I love that teal stripe. Mm-hmm. Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, ladies and gents.
Thanks for all your comments on our pictures and stuff. We really feel like you guys are with us.
Okay. My butt was pinched as soon as we got
off the train in
Edinburgh. Even inside the train station yet.
Mm-hmm. What did she say? She said, "Hi, Amy. I'm going to pinch your butt."
She says, "I really could pinch your butt." She had her arms full of stuff. I said, "Well, you better do it." And we stopped, and she pinched my butt. I said, "Well, what I have to give you is in my suitcase. I wasn't expecting to be pinched this early." I said, "I will find you, and I'll give it to you." She said, "Okay." All right. Well, we'll
Too
check
much.
in again, certainly before we start our third leg. We're going to definitely have to show you all that we got. So,
Yeah.
hope you're having a great day wherever you are. It is Wednesday. I have no idea what March 14th in Edinburgh, Scotland.
We're going to be in Scotland during
St. Patty's Day.
Yeah. Okay. We've rambled enough. High five.
Bye. If you can't be kind,
Be quiet. Love
Bye.
ya. Happy knitting.
happy knitting.